What's up guys, Rich here, and today we're going to look at Davosa's Black Suit, which is a limited edition model of 500 pieces, and it's part of their Turnos lineup. And no, the lighting in this studio right now isn't any darker than usual, but that's again because this is called the Black Suit edition. So the bezel and the dial are blackened out, which gives it a really cool stealthy look. And I unboxed this watch a while ago, and you know, it's one of the watches that I put away, and then only because I am fortunate enough that I own a couple of watches, and then I sort of found it again. So it's really, I appreciate this watch a lot more, I would say, now than I did at the time of the unboxing, because it's one of those watches where it kind of represents a watch that you don't really kind of appreciate it sometimes until you don't have it for a while, and then that's when you realize that it's a keeper. It's instead of saying to yourself that, oh, I forgot about this watch, I don't care about it. But this is not the case. It's like a really great find was the moment that I had when I realized, you know, I haven't worn this in a while. It is in 42 millimeters, and like I said, it is a limited edition, and it's the blackened version. And probably the first thought that might come to mind is, how legible is this because it is all black? Is it really hard to read? And the answer to that is no, not any more than any other watch in any normal lighting conditions. And even though the dial is blackened and so are the markers, well, the circles and the rectangle markers right there are framed in a matte gold. So you can see them, and the same goes with the minute, hour, and seconds hand in this matte gold finishing. So that is making it a lot easier to read. And I like the date when they're there with the matching color. The bezel here, I wouldn't call it black. I would call it more of like a deep slate. And the only part of it is loomed is that dimple right up there above 12 o'clock. The markers are filled with black enamel. So, you know, it has great teeth and great turn action. And, well, let's take a look right now. Very satisfying, very firm. Like I said, great teeth action. If there was one area that I wouldn't mind having changed a little bit on this, is having those other markers loomed. I think that would be cool. I certainly wouldn't be mad at them in that case, but it's not. It gives it more of that stealthy look right there. It has a helium escape valve, something that is not going to come in that useful for me because I don't go diving to that depth. It is water resistant to 50 ATMs or 50 atmospheres, which translates to roughly about 1,700 feet. So this is a serious divers, and you know, the helium escape valve is just more of a testament to the quality and the seriousness of the watch under water pressure. Overall, I really want to talk about the quality of Davosa watches. This is a very substantial watch in the hand. It is very hefty. It's not going to be mistaken for titanium in any way. It's just a wonderful build, and the finishing on this is one of the highlights of the watch that I really came to appreciate after having put it away and then returning to it. The finishing is really great on this, and the retail price, I believe, it's sub $1,000. I think it's $900 or $899 to be exact. And in that sub $1,000 range, I really can't find any flaws to the watch. It definitely belongs there. It would certainly be in a very crowded category price-wise in that area, but it would also be, I think, a standout. This watch would definitely stand out in the sub $1,000 range, especially among divers. It is powered by what they call their caliber 3021 automatic movement, which is based off of the Sellita 200 movement, I believe. And that's one of the highlights I wanted to talk about, is the movement. It doesn't say on their website, the Davosa's website, if this is adjusted to, for example, 5 positions. And that's what I think makes it much more meaningful, meaning the accuracy of this movement. Because, guys, I've been getting zero deviation or currently plus 1 second a day. So that makes me wonder if it has been adjusted, though that would be a great talking point for Davosa, or if it is their top movement within Sellita, because either way, it keeps just excellent time. So that is another hallmark of a great quality watch, which is why I think this would be the standout in the $900 to $1,000 price range. And I would even go as far as to say that because of the specs, the movement, the finishing, just the overall quality of the watch, that this could still play in the $1,500 to $2,000 sandbox of other watches, which puts it into another level from the sub 1000, and it would not be the odd watch out just based on the quality. And if the blackened look or the black suit is not your cup of tea, well, the Turnos has other models available as well. So Davosa does have some models that might, they're going to come across as homage, which would be true, but then they have a lot of original models as well, and I think the black suit certainly falls within that original lineup. Everything about this watch is just really great quality. The crown guards are not just cosmetic. As I said, it is a screw down crown and has some serious water resistance, and the crown is very smooth when we're pulling it out. Let's see, we'll pull it out, we'll adjust whatever we want to adjust, and then when we put it back in, it's just very smooth. Davosa just did a really great job. And I'm not going to say it's an underrated brand. They are certainly very popular. I think they've started since 2000. So Davosa is not a new brand. They've been around for over 20 years, and a little before that, before the current family took over the brand. So it is a Swiss-made brand, and Davosa just has a really big array of different models. And their Turnos, I think, is one of the more popular lineups among their collections. Just a really great job they did with this. So, earlier I said I can't really find any flaws with the watch, and there's a good look at the solid case back with that carbon texture back there. As I did say, it's limited edition to 500 pieces, and mine is number 147 out of 500. As great as this watch is, one area I would have to point out worth noting is that it is not easy to put this bracelet back on. I removed it because I put on the rubber strap on this, which was easy enough to take off, but putting it back on was a bit of a challenge because the way that it has the curved ends there and the way that pins are. You need a tool to hold both pins down at the same time before you pop it back in. So it was a little bit challenging for me, so I had to take it to a jeweler's to have the bracelet put back on. But once it's back on, you can see that it looks great on here, and it's just really, really great quality here. It has the micro adjustments as well as the diver's extension. So we'll pull it out, and then we'll lift this, and there's the diver's extension. Not necessary for me, but it is there. What is necessary for me is the micro adjustments, just especially in the summertime when we all sweat and our wrists tend to swell up a little bit. So I really want to talk about the quality of Davosa watches. And if you're familiar with Davosa, I think you'll know what I'm talking about, especially their Turnos lineup. And if you're not familiar with Davosa, I think Davosa watches are definitely worth taking a close look at, because they just make some really quality watches. They've been doing so for over 2 decades now. So it's, like I said, it's not a new brand. It's a Swiss-made brand that just turned out really, really solid quality watches. Even their homages, which I did look at a long time ago, the quality of them is just it's just right there. It's right there with watches that I would say like are double priced in what they are. That's just how great the build quality is. So for the price range on this, which is about $900, we are getting a really, really wonderful watch. The bezel inlay is ceramic, if I didn't already mention that. So overall, just the use of great materials, a great movement, a really accurate movement, and I would have to say that's because of the adjusting that they do to the movement. Just a really great look. I like the stealthy look, so for me, the black suit was something that was unique enough for me, and reading the time has not been a problem. The lume has been great on this as well, and it's just been holding up really well. So if we're looking for that divers with a little bit of a different look, the black suit should definitely fit that bill, and I think Davosa watches are definitely worth taking a closer look. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you the next time.